Hello again, Algebra 1. Today's video is 8.3, which is about dividing rational expressions. If you understood it yesterday, you're in a position of great strength. If you are not understanding yesterday, I guess today can help review yesterday's topics because it's basically the same thing. You probably remember from fraction world that when you divide with fractions, you flip the second fraction, and then it's multiplication all over again. So that's what's going to happen to us here on all of these problems. There's fewer than yesterday because it's almost a repeat of yesterday's deal. All of these fractions, we'll need to flip the second fraction, and then we're repeating the multiply process. To recap the multiply process from yesterday, we looked first to factor. If there was adding or subtracting, you have to factor. If it's not, you don't. Then we looked to cancel any top with any bottom, and then we're going straight across with any pieces that are left. So this first fraction, I'll disappear off camera for a second to grab an eraser. Grabbing an eraser, and here I am. I didn't disappear, I'm back. For this one, we're going to change divide to multiply, and this fraction needs to go upside down. So then we look to cancel. 16 can cancel 4, leaves a 4. X with x squared, there's one more x on top, so leave it there. So 4 and x survive on top, y survives on the bottom. Similar to old days of fraction things, if you don't see a fraction, it always is there. You can always make anything a fraction by sticking it on top of a 1. And then this is going to have to go upside down. I don't have the patience right now to erase and rewrite that, but we know that's upside down because we can all see that arrow. So factor on this, x and x. Two pluses, factoring similar as long as that's a plus. These are the same as this. And then when they're same, we add to make 5. So 3 and 2 in whatever order to replace that. This is a difference of squares. If you don't know what I mean by that, watch the factoring video about difference of squares in great detail. X's, plus minus, 2's, that's there. So then we can cancel this on top with this on bottom. This on top with this, which is really on the bottom. There's the invisible parentheses from yesterday available to us. That is flipped. It is on the bottom, so we're good with that. The only thing that survives is then an x minus 2 on the bottom. And as yesterday we discussed, a 1 on the top to fill our needs when there's a gap. For this, we need to take out factoring things when we can. GCF on this, x plus 6, replaced. 3, leaving x plus 2 to replace. 6, leaving x plus 2 to replace. 10, leaving x plus 6 to replace. Again, it's time to factor if you see adding in the problem. On the top, on the bottom, you see add, see subtract, you have to factor. If you don't see that, you don't need to factor. Looking for matches now, keeping in mind that this would be upside down. If it helps you to rewrite things and copy it upside down, go for it. That's probably a better habit. Or conceivably, next problem maybe what I'll do is instead of writing this on the top, I'll put it on the bottom. I'll reverse it as I do the next one. That might be a good trick too. But the x plus 6, this is a top, this is really a bottom because we are flipping. For the x plus 2's, this is a bottom and this is really a top because we're flipping. 5 is a top, 10 is a bottom because we flipped, and that 2 is going to survive, but on the bottom because we flipped that there. The 3 cancels the 6 to leave a 2, and so that would actually be on the top, but realistically, backtracking, we can recancel these anyway. 2 can recancel 2, the whole thing's going to be a 1 like the last problem yesterday because everything is gone. Moving over for 2 more problems in the next column. At the beginning of the video, I probably could have said, if you think you understand it, just try it without me and then check answers. I would say that now. If you think you got this, try a couple, see if you can do it without me, unpause it, see if you got them right. But we're just going to look to factor like crazy, flip the second fraction, cancel like crazy, and see who's left. Here goes. X's minus 3 and plus 2. X's plus 5 minus 4. as promised, factoring the top to flip it, I'm going to put it on the bottom. So factoring this top, x plus 7, x plus 2, that top, I'm going to reverse it now. This, x plus 7, x minus 4 is good. This flipped up to the top, well, that flipped down to the bottom. If you see a lot of matches, that's probably a good sign that you factored right. If you don't see a lot of matches, probably you factored wrong. Sometimes there's just not a cancel, but they usually set you up to cancel like crazy. So looking for matches, x plus 2 is good, x minus 4s are good, x plus 7s are good. Grand total leaves only an x minus 3 and an x plus 5. One more time, GCF here, 2 goes into everything, 2x plus 1. I'm going to write that on the bottom. The top will flip to the bottom. This is probably the next easiest one to factor. It's a difference of squares. 3 minus x, 3 plus x. This one, we have a GCF of 2. If we take that to the top, because we're flipping the second one, the 2 leaves us an x squared plus an x minus a 6. And I need a little more room than anticipated, because we're going to have to go again to x squared gets us x's, minus is different signs, plus a 3 minus a 2 to replace that. And then over here, I'm going to use my same advice from yesterday. This is one of those guess check problems. We don't have the ability to take out a 2, so we're going to need something with a 2x. I bet it's this. We need something that can make us a 3. So we know sign has to be different here to be a minus, so probably minus the 3, be my guess. So check it. There's a negative 6x, a positive 1x. Together is a negative 5x. That usually works. Let's look around. Then look for matches. 2's match. 2x plus 1's match. X minus 3 with 3 minus x, subtract backward. For the 3rd day in a row we hit one of these, has to leave a negative sign behind. Add backwards is a good enough match. We're fine, no payment required on that. Grand total, we have a negative. And then the only thing left is the x minus 2. So I'm fine with this answer. I'd also be fine if you distribute the negative, flop all the signs to get a negative x plus 2. That's just as good, but we're fine with what we have there. And that's it for today. See you next time.